Welcome to Punta Cana, welcome to paradise. This is the ultimate expectations versus reality travel video for all future travelers to Punta Cana. Whether you are traveling solo or with your friends and families, this video will compare what I expected versus what the reality was for my very first time in Punta Cana. Let's start with talking about the new carry-on rules. I had booked my flight in March 2024 with a basic fare, and I have always encouraged all travelers to travel with just a carry-on. However, if you're flying from Canada, there is no carry-on for flights booked after January 3rd, 2025. The airline suggested this move to speed up the boarding process and eliminate any flight delays. However, I personally think this new rule came into effect to discourage people from traveling only with the carry-ons and encourage smart travelers to check in their bags. If you booked your flights prior to January 3rd, the airline might still ask you to check in your bags anyways. So, what can you do? Check your tickets carefully to avoid surprises at the check-in counters. Carry all your essentials in a personal item and that everyone is entitled to. Number 2, filling out the e-form for immigration. All travelers, regardless of your citizenship or your passport, are required to fill out the entry and exit form for Dominican Republic. There are a few videos available online showing you how to complete the form. I will attach the link below. The form takes about 15 minutes and generates a QR code after completion. I expected the airline agent and the immigration officers to check my QR code before boarding the flight or entering the Dominican Republic. But in reality, no one cared. I would still keep it handy as a printout or on your phone to avoid any sort of complications. Number 3, transportation to the resort. Avoid getting scammed by the taxi drivers in Dominican Republic. Contact your resort to book a free airport pickup and drop off. Most resorts are able to arrange for a complimentary transportation from and to the airport for stays longer than 3 nights. If it isn't free, I still recommend booking your private transportation via resort, as the taxi drivers may charge you 4 times what the actual cost would have been. The taxi scam is the biggest scam in Dominican Republic. Let's talk about the resort. This is the single most important and expensive decision you will make for your trip. Do your research on the price, types of crowd, amenities, and overall vibe of the resort. While the Dominican Republic has the most tourists visiting from the States, my resort had most travelers from Quebec, Canada, Argentina, and then some from the States. While the resort had people from various age groups, the overall vibe at the resort was youthful. On a completely different note, the resort reps will promote the timeshare promos. Personally, I would stay away from any such commitments. If you make any purchases at the resort, even at the front desk or at the shops, please read your credit card receipts. While the currency they charge you in is always going to be Dominican Republic pesos, you always want to make sure to avoid any surprises in your credit card statements down the line. Number 5, tipping. Everyone online and in person suggested to carry lots of dollar bills for tipping. This came in quite handy at the resort. Generally, the online recommendations suggested to tip only when the service was good and suggested varying tipping amounts. However, to my surprise, only few people would tip for any services. In general, younger crowd did not tip while the older crowd tipped occasionally. We decided to tip as follows. Hotel transportation, $5. Butler, $3. For room service, $2 a night. Room fridge service, $1 per night. At buffets, $2 a meal. At restaurants, about $4 to $5 a meal. And $1 for two drinks. The overall vibe of the resort that I stayed in implied that tipping wasn't customary. Booking your excursions in a la carte. Book your excursions through the resorts, and the a la carte restaurants booking starts from 8 a.m. in the morning until 4 p.m. The a la carte restaurants do fill up quick, so book at the very next available opportunity. Make a list of preferred restaurants before going to the booking and be ready to be flexible if it doesn't work out exactly how you want it to be. Now let's talk about all-inclusive food and drinks. Various videos online suggested that Dominican Republic offers lots of variety for seafood for buffets, and it was completely true. The dishes are constantly refilled and gives a variety of options. This depends obviously on your resort. I stayed at a mid-range resort, but the service there lacked in its reputation. It was difficult to find the tables for breakfast and dinner and often required us to find a staff to clear out a used table. Save a table first and then go get your food. If you have a sweet tooth, though, then you are truly going to enjoy the buffets, as they have the most selection for desserts. The lines for alcoholic drinks at the poolside can be as long as 25 minutes. So carry a tumbler or a mug with you. This will avoid having to wait in line frequently. Speaking of the pool, let's talk about the chairs and the towels. The resort reception will give you a towel card. Collect the towels early in the morning. Pool chairs are a luxury, and people tend to save the pool chairs for the entire day. If you don't want to spend the entire day by the poolside, go early or after 5 p.m., and you might just get lucky. Also, carry a couple towel clippers to clip your towels to the chair. Punta Cana can be quite breezy, and your towels won't hold up. Now, speaking of the a la carte restaurant, let's talk about the dress code. You booked your restaurant, there will be a dress code. Most will require you to dress formally. However, some restaurants care more about your dress code and some not so much. Stop overdressing to avoid overheating. Surprisingly, the buffets also had a dress code for men at dinner. All men were required to wear sleeved shirts, and we were turned away for wearing one without. Finally, the beach. Punta Cana is vacationer's paradise. Turquoise waters of Punta Cana are swimmable all across, but some spots are shallower than others. Look for them or look for those spots with nets to avoid a seaweed-free experience. Also, contrary to popular beliefs, the best time to swim is before 10 a.m. or after 4 p.m. People literally claim the beach chairs early in the morning. So go early if you care about having those chairs. One of the major disappointments for us was the lack of seashells on the beach. If you enjoy walking along the shore looking for those colorful seashells, you are in for a huge disappointment. The over-tourism in Punta Cana has severely affected the marine life, and you would be lucky if you saw a few seashells during your entire stay. The beach is full of vendors and sellers, though. They will approach you with exotic pets. And if you decide to take photographs with those pets, remember to bargain. A good price would be 50% below the asking amount. Also, if you decide to go to the beach before or after the sunset, cover yourself with the bug repellent to avoid sea fleas and mosquito bites. Finally, Punta Cana is filled with beautiful locals and tourists. Locals will genuinely communicate with you in Spanish if they see an attempt and willingness on your part. Dominican Republic is LGBTQ tolerant, but discrimination is often ignored. The resort towns, on the other hand, are safe for all minorities. And that's it. Thanks for watching this comprehensive travel guide to Punta Cana. This will help you to plan accordingly for your very first travel. Like this video and subscribe to my channel for more useful videos like these. And comment below if you have any questions. Adios, amigos.